Back on this game, and if you remember my very first video on this game, I talked about how the levels were different, but I didn't really get in depth on that. So that's what we're doing today. I already talked about all the levels that they changed. Some of the levels they made easier, some levels they took away bricks. Not really sure why, but as you can see, Das Buck is the same. Yours Gazappo, Slip and Slide, Peggle Land. So I'll be showing ones that are vastly different. There are some ones that are slightly off, like Skate Park. I think they took away some pegs on the end. Spiral of Doom, the spiral looks a little off, but so Mr. Pepper's the first one that is really like different. You can really like tell, like, yeah, okay, that one's different. And they took away the bricks, so everyone that played this level know that they had the circle, and then it was a brick covering the circle in the middle. But now it's a bunch of rotating pegs, and I think it makes the level kind of more difficult because you're able to shoot off those bricks and get a slide way more easier than trying to shoot off of these pegs and trying to get into the slide. So I'm not really sure what they were trying to accomplish with the level changes, or whether they were trying to make it easier or more difficult, but I think that level is more difficult. Scarab Crunch is the same, Infinite Shoot is the same. Raw Deal, they changed the slide, so now it's not full. As you can see in the middle, the slide is not complete for whatever reason. Gator Pit is the same. Fever level is different. As you can see, the words are further apart. You have, like, the F is further apart, the E's and the R is kind of off to the side, and the slide seems to be a little bit shorter, and the slopes are off, definitely, because the left side starts going down. The left side is going down while the right side is not even going down yet. So the problem with that is, of course, when you slide from this left side, you're not going to get the slide all the way. The only way to get the slide, for the most part, is to start from the right side and slide from that side, because you're not going to be able to go up that slide if you start from the left. I don't think you can do it on the right either, but you would get a little more from the right if you start on the right side. But you're not going to get the full slide on this version. And another thing about this version is that I cannot go all the way left, obviously, because they adjusted the height of how high you can shoot. So yeah, as you can see, I didn't get the entire slide, even though the game says extreme slide, which I think is 13 pegs, somewhere around there. But as you can see, I can't shoot over this, so if I want to start the left side anyway, I couldn't. So Medium is the same, Last Flower is the same, Common Piece is the same. Made in Space, I don't think I've talked about this much. I don't really have to play it. As you can see, there's only one circle in the middle and the other pegs rotate. Definitely makes the level harder, because before you could just break one and then you could just stick your ball. You could just put your ball in there and it will slide in the circle. Now instead, you kind of have to deal with those rotating pegs, and you're not going to get the full slide, because the bricks were easier to just shoot your ball in and get a slide. Getting the spare, they slightly changed the outside, I think. Actually, no, it looks the same to me. It looks like there's just a little less pegs on the sides, but nothing that important. This is one of the levels they changed the most. As you can tell, it's not really a flippers level anymore. I mean, if I was like playing this to beat it, I would always use Fireball. But like, as you can tell, the sides, they aren't flippers. They aren't built for the flippers, really. The flippers are horrible in this game anyway, so the original had like the 3 slopes. This one has like 2 slopes, and the top one isn't even really like slanted like the bottom, and then for some reason there's this ring in the middle of the level. I'm not really sure why they changed it like this, because I would say the level is not difficult if you just use Fireball, but if you don't use him, then it is kind of annoying because the flippers aren't as good. But maybe it does have something to do with how the flippers are in the game. Maybe they decided to change up the level because the flippers aren't as good. And that's mainly because the ball in this game is really heavy for some reason. And it's not as light as it is in a normal game. So The way the ball bounces, it's super heavy, kind of like a rock, and it doesn't stay in the air very long. So when you hit it with the flippers, it doesn't exactly go anywhere. So our favorite eel is pretty much the same. Vermin is the same. The only thing that sucks about Vermin in this game, I mean really fucking sucks, is that you can't shoot over these. So every time you start the level, you're going to end up fucking up part of the slide, which is really annoying. Because I don't really know this. I don't know a shot for the slide on here on this version. So, and you can't shoot over. So every time you play this, you're going to end up messing up the slide because you can't start on the sides first, which is super dumb. So waves is the same. It's just the bricks look slightly off. Spiderwebs is the same. Blockers is the exact same. 70 and Sunny. Tula's Ride is the same, except that the cars, the tires are not bricks, they're pegs, which is a trend that we see a lot. Working from home is easier because the pegs don't go off the screen in this version. It just stays there. So, definitely easier, and not having the moving bricks makes this level way easier than before, but the negative to that is that your flippers aren't as useful and they aren't as good in this game. As you can tell, when you hit the flippers, the ball doesn't go as far. It really doesn't work the way you think it would, so flippers aren't as great in this game. Let's see. Oats is the same, except that they replaced the bricks with pegs. I Heart Flowers, same. Tula's Ride, something. Five of a Kind is the same. Roll'em is the same. Spin Again. Dog Pinball. Same. Doom Review. Rombi is the same. 9 Lift Balloons. Spin Cycle. Spin Cycle is way easier without the straw in the middle. Basically, they just replaced the straw with one little circle, and now there's no bricks on the side once again. So yeah, this is definitely one of the easier levels, because the whole point of this level is that you have that straw in the middle, but without it, I mean, you kind of have this slider. You could do whatever you want if you get a bunch of points with the Magic Hat, or whatever you could do with that. There's nothing blocking the pegs like that straw. I guess the sides are a little more difficult, but overall way easier than before. Share wrong thing. But this is the level that they just completely fucked up in this version. Like, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. So we all know what this level is supposed to look like with all the bricks, and you like slowly break your way to the inside, but this level plays so much differently in this version. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, instead of slowly trying to break it open and like finding your opening, you just shoot into it, and like, I guess the ball does some stuff. Like, it gets inside, and I got really lucky, it looks like. Oh, no, yeah, because sometimes even when you get inside this level, the pegs disappear, so your ball just drops through. Or sometimes it goes through the hole for some reason, and sometimes it doesn't. So it's really weird how it works. Sometimes the ball gets stuck, and other times it goes through. But yeah, that level is way different because instead of trying to slide, you're basically just dropping the ball in and you just wait. So it kind of removes a lot of the strategy of trying to make your way through. The same. Pig's Fly is the same. Zen Frog is the same, except that it's not. As you can tell, there's way less pegs, so this level becomes super easy. Like, you don't even really need Claude. You don't really need anything. You could really just use, like, Space Blast or Flower Power, and you're going to beat this pretty easily. You don't even need flippers on here because they took out so many of the pegs. So the level is just so easy. I mean, almost half of the pegs on the screen are orange. They're like, so almost half of the pegs are orange. There's like barely over 50 pegs in this level. So, pretty easy level. Which is good because Zen Frog is a fucking pain in the ass in the original, but Flippers makes it easier. Paul Reader is slightly off, like this middle doesn't connect, but I don't think it's too big of a deal. So, level looks like this. It's sort of similar, but it's not. You can't get this slide here because of the way the ball works in this game. Like I said, it's heavier and it doesn't slide as easy because of that. So if you want to get slides in this game, you're really relying on the hat to stick to the pegs. For some reason, the ball in this game, it bounces a lot and it's heavy. So. End of time is the same. Billions and billions is the same, but I will show off the UFO for a little bit. Just see what it looks like. And I will show that the super guy is actually very useful on this level. I don't even know. I doubt it does this on the original. But of course, when you have the super guy on this level, it shows you exactly where it's going to shoot through the UFO. So that might be helpful, especially with this game, because you basically have a save state every time you shoot. So you don't need an amazing ability to 100% this game. So you don't need to be like Fireball or Lucky Smith every time. And then obviously beyond reason, you can tell that they knocked a lot of the pegs out of the DNA, so now you can really just drag in the middle and you'll fucking beat it like instantly. So that is pretty much every level change in this game or important one. And never say never, but this will probably be the last video on this version for a while because I don't really think there's much else for me to say. And of course, the Fireball was shit, but oh well. But the dual mode is the same. Of course, you'd be fighting with a friend on a tiny little phone, or maybe emulating on a computer, or even a console. The challenges are all the same as the original games. You have your all clear challenges. You have your get a certain amount of points. The only thing I can say is that the 700, like the level that says get a 750,000 on any random level with 500,000 in this game, which is kind of funny because you can manipulate the lucky spin to be triple score whenever you need it to be. So the fact that the threshold is even lower is kind of funny because it's pretty easy to get whatever score you want in this game. So and then you beat the levels that have 55 orange pegs. So you have your extra orange pegs, your destroy every peg in the level, and all the challenges like the same. Of course, my awards I probably showed last time. I mean, I think it's a new phone from last time, so I did end up 100%ing this game twice, which I have no regrets about because I do really like this version. So, but yeah, I have nothing else to say except that the credits look like this, I guess, and then you have your guide. But yeah, that's about it.